It started raining the moment they lowered Jesse's casket into the ground. Not a drizzle, a full-on cold, miserable downpour like the sky was grieving with me. Or maybe mocking me. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. My name is Oakley, and 3 months ago, I buried my husband. The man who made coffee every morning even though he didn't drink it. The man who kissed my forehead before every shift and told me he'd be home safe. He wasn't. One slip, one faulty rig at the construction site, one phone call that shattered everything. I stood there soaked to the bone, clutching the folded flag they handed me like it was supposed to mean something. My fingers were numb, not from the cold, but from holding back the scream that had been lodged in my throat since the call. "Sweetheart," my mother's voice cut through the rain. She stepped under my umbrella without asking. Her mascara was smudged, but her eyes were dry. "We need to talk. It's about the house." I blinked. "What?" My father joined her, his arm around her shoulder like a prop. "We didn't want to bring this up today, but we don't have a choice. The bank, Oakley, we're about to lose the house." I stared at them. The same house I grew up in? The one they always bragged about paying off early? Tessa appeared beside them, all fake tears and dramatic sniffles. "It's bad, Oak. They're behind on everything. They didn't want you to worry, but it's serious." I didn't say anything. Couldn't. My heart was already bleeding. "We wouldn't ask if we weren't desperate," Mom said, gripping my arm. "Jesse would have wanted us to be okay. He was family." That word, family. It hit me like a punch to the gut. "We're not asking for all of it," Dad added quickly. "Just enough to stop the foreclosure. We'll pay you back. Every cent." I don't remember agreeing. I just remember nodding. I remember Tessa hugging me like she'd won something. I remember the way Mom's hand lingered on my purse when I pulled out the checkbook. The insurance money had come in 2 weeks after the funeral. Jesse had been thorough, responsible. He'd taken care of everything, even in death. $480,000. I hadn't touched a cent. I couldn't. It felt like blood money. But they needed help. My parents, my sister, my family. And Jesse would have helped them. He always said, family first, even when they suck. So I wrote the check. $320,000, enough to cover the debt and give them a cushion. I kept a little for myself, just enough to cover rent and groceries for a few months. It felt right, like I was doing something good in the middle of all the pain. They hugged me, told me I was a blessing, promised to keep me updated. Then they disappeared. No calls, no texts, no updates, just silence. At first, I didn't think much of it. They were probably busy dealing with the bank, I told myself. Paperwork, lawyers, whatever. I left voicemails. "Just checking in," I'd say. "Hope everything's okay." Nothing. Maya, my best friend since high school, wasn't buying it. "They're ghosting you," she said over coffee one afternoon. "You gave them 300 grand, Oak. You don't get to be polite anymore." "They're my parents," I mumbled. She raised an eyebrow. "So?" I didn't have an answer. 2 months passed. Rent was coming due again. I picked up extra shifts at the bookstore, canceled my gym membership, and stopped ordering takeout. I didn't touch the last bit of insurance money. I couldn't. That was Jesse's. It felt sacred. Then, out of nowhere, Tessa texted, "Hey, so sorry we've been MIA. Things have been crazy. Let's do brunch soon." I stared at the screen like it might explode. No mention of the house. No mention of the money. I showed Maya. "Brunch?" she scoffed. "Is she serious?" I didn't respond. I couldn't. Something in my chest twisted. I didn't want to believe it. Not yet. Then came the video. It was a Tuesday. Freddie, my neighbor across the hall, knocked on my door with a USB drive in hand. "You need to see this," he said, eyes serious. Freddie was a drone guy, always flying that thing around the neighborhood. I used to tease him about it, called him Spy Kid. He didn't smile this time. I plugged the drive into my laptop. The footage was clear. A dealership, BMW, my parents and Tessa standing next to a white convertible, laughing, hugging the salesman, signing papers, champagne. I covered my mouth. Then I heard it, clear as day, my father's voice. She actually fell for it. The room spun. I paused the video. They bought a car? I whispered. Freddie nodded. That was 3 weeks ago. I didn't want to assume anything, but I recognized your sister. I couldn't breathe. Maya came over that night. She watched the footage in silence, then turned to me. They lied to you, she said. They stole from you. From Jesse. I sat on the floor, knees to my chest, staring at the paused video. My mother's smile, my father's smug laugh. Tessa's sunglasses perched on her head like a crown. I felt something shift inside me, like a door I didn't know existed had just creaked open. I didn't cry, not this time. I just whispered, they're going to regret this. I called them, all three, one after the other, straight to voicemail. I waited an hour, tried again, nothing. Maya sat across from me at the kitchen table, arms folded, jaw tight. They're not going to pick up, Oak. You saw the video. They're not hiding it. They don't care. I stared at my phone like it might grow a conscience. I just want to hear them say it. I want to hear them lie to my face. Maya leaned forward. Then let's go to them. I blinked. You mean like show up unannounced. You gave them your husband's life insurance and they ghosted you. You deserve answers. I hesitated. She stood up. I'm driving. Get your shoes. The drive to my parents' place felt longer than it was. My stomach churned the whole way. I kept picturing Jesse's face. How he used to say, your mom's intense, but she means well. He never saw this coming. Neither did I. We pulled up to the house, and I froze. It looked perfect. Fresh paint, new landscaping, a shiny black SUV in the driveway. Not a single sign of financial distress. Maya whistled low. Foreclosure, huh? I got out of the car, my legs stiff. Every step up the walkway felt heavier. I rang the bell. Footsteps. Then the door opened. Tessa. She blinked at me like I was a stranger. Oakley? Oh my God, what are you doing here? I forced a smile. Just thought I'd stop by. It's been a while. She looked past me at Maya, then back. Now's not really a good time. We're in the middle of... Where's Mom? I asked. Before she could answer, Mom appeared behind her, holding a glass of wine. Well, this is a surprise, she said, lips tight. I stepped inside without asking. Maya followed. The living room was spotless. New furniture, marble coffee table, a massive flat screen mounted on the wall. I turned slowly. So, the house is fine. Mom's smile didn't reach her eyes. We managed to work something out with the bank. It was a miracle, really. Tessa chimed in. Yeah, we pulled some strings. You know how it is. I looked at them. You didn't think to tell me? We didn't want to worry you, Mom said quickly. You've been through so much. I nodded. Right, so much. Like burying my husband and giving you $300,000. Tessa shifted uncomfortably. We said we'd pay you back. I pulled out my phone and hit play. The dealership footage filled the room. My father's voice echoed. She actually fell for it. Tessa's face drained of color. Mom's wine glass trembled slightly. I paused the video. So, was that before or after the miracle? Silence. Maya stepped forward. You lied. You stole. And you laughed about it. Mom's voice hardened. You don't understand the pressure we were under. I turned to her. No, I understand perfectly. You saw me broken. You saw me grieving. And you saw an opportunity. Tessa crossed her arms. God, Oakley, it's not like we killed him. Maya's mouth dropped open. I didn't flinch. No, you just danced on his grave. The front door opened. Dad walked in, keys in hand, humming. He stopped when he saw us. His eyes flicked to the paused video on my phone. Ah, so the secret's out. I stared at him. You're not even going to deny it? He shrugged. What's the point? You gave us the money. No one forced you. Maya stepped forward. You manipulated her. Lied about foreclosure. That's fraud. He laughed. Oh, please. What court's going to hear a case about a daughter voluntarily giving money to her family? I looked at him, really looked. And for the first time, I saw it. The smugness, the calculation, the total absence of shame. I turned to leave. Tessa called after me. Wait, Oakley, don't be dramatic. I stopped at the door. You're right. I've been dramatic. Crying, mourning, trusting. That ends today. Back in the car, Maya was fuming. They're monsters, she said, and they're not even hiding it. I stared out the window. They think they've won. She looked at me. What are you going to do? I didn't answer right away. The dealership footage played again in my mind. The laughter, the champagne. I'm going to find out everything, I said. Every lie, every dollar, every secret. Maya nodded. And then, I looked at her. Then I'm going to burn it all down. The next morning, I was at the county records office by 9 a.m. I didn't sleep much. My hands still shook from the night before, but I was done crying. I had a laptop, a notebook, and a list of questions. Hi, I said to the clerk behind the glass. I need property records for 11929 Maple Drive. She looked it up. You the owner? No, but I'm the daughter. I just need to know if the house has been in foreclosure. She raised an eyebrow. That address? No, ma'am. That home's been refinanced twice in the last 5 years. No foreclosure on file. I blinked. Are you sure? She turned the screen. Positive. Last refi was 18 months ago. Fixed rate. They're current on payments. I stepped back from the counter, heart pounding. Thanks. Outside, I called Maya. They never even were in foreclosure, I said. No surprise there. What's next? I'm going over there. To do what? To see it for myself? Want me to come? No. I think I need to do this alone. The drive to the house felt different this time. I wasn't nervous. I was watching, noticing. I parked a block away and walked up the street, hoodie pulled low, sunglasses on. I wasn't hiding. I just didn't want to give them a heads up. The garage door was open. Inside was the white BMW from the video, polished, gleaming. Dad's voice echoed from the backyard. I slipped around the side fence and peeked through the slats. There they were. My parents and Tessa, sitting by the pool. A new pool. The old one had been filled in years ago. This one had a waterfall feature and a built-in hot tub. Tessa was sipping from a wine glass. I was thinking we could remodel the patio next. Maybe add a bar. What do you think? Mom nodded. We've got the funds, and the weather's perfect for it. Dad laughed. Let's not overdo it. We still have to be subtle. Tessa rolled her eyes. Oakley's not coming back. She's probably too busy crying into Jessie's old shirts. They all laughed. I stepped back, heart in my throat. My fingers curled into fists. I wanted to scream. I wanted to storm in and flip the damn table. But I didn't. I pulled out my phone and hit record. I got it all. Later that night, I sat on Maya's couch, playing the video. She watched in silence, jaw clenched. They're disgusting, she said. They're sloppy, I replied, and that's going to be their downfall. She looked at me. What's the plan? I opened my laptop. First, I'm freezing the rest of the insurance money. Then I'm calling Jesse's old lawyer. You think he'll help? He liked Jesse, and he's sharp. He'll know what to do. Maya nodded. Good, because this is war. The next morning, I called Mr. Sanders. He'd handled Jesse's will and the insurance paperwork. A quiet, serious man with a voice like gravel and eyes that miss nothing. Miss, he said after I explained everything, you're telling me your family fabricated a financial emergency to access your late husband's life insurance? Yes, and I have video proof, plus bank records and messages. He was silent for a moment. Then, come in tomorrow. Bring everything. We'll talk options. I hung up and exhaled for the first time in hours. That night, I went through my bank statements, every transfer, every check. I printed screenshots of messages from Tessa and Mom, especially the ones referencing saving the house. Maya helped me organize everything into folders. I can't believe you gave them that much, she said quietly. I was grieving, I said. They knew that. She nodded. And they used it. The next day, I walked into Mr. Sanders' office with a fireproof folder and a flash drive. He listened. He took notes. He watched the dealership video twice. This is bad, he said finally. On their part. Can I press charges? Civil, yes. Possibly criminal, depending on how the insurance money was used. If they lied about the purpose, and you can prove it, that's fraud. If your sister impersonated you or misrepresented anything to the insurance company, that's worse. I swallowed. I want to move forward. He nodded. Then we'll start by freezing the remaining funds. I'll file paperwork today. Then we'll build the case. I stood to leave. Thank you. He looked at me. You're doing the right thing. As I stepped outside, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You should know. Tessa called Jesse's job the day he died. She said she was you. My blood ran cold. I called the number. No answer. Just a voicemail box with no name. I texted back. Who is this? No reply. I called Maya. Someone just told me Tessa called Jesse's job pretending to be me, the day he died. What? Why? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Maya's voice dropped. Oakley, what if this goes deeper than money? I stared at the screen, at the silence. Then I'll dig deeper, I said, until I hit the bottom. Mr. Sanders didn't waste time. By the end of the week, the remaining life insurance funds were frozen. My family couldn't touch a cent more, and they didn't even know it yet. They'll find out soon enough, he said, sliding a folder across his desk. We're serving them with a formal request to account for all disbursed funds. If they can't provide documentation, we move to civil court. I nodded. They won't have anything real, just receipts for wine, cars, and patio furniture. Then we'll bury them in paper. Back at home, Maya was already working. She had her laptop open, spreadsheets pulled up, and a pile of printed text between us. Okay, she said, pointing. Here's the timeline. You gave them the check on March 14th. The BMW was purchased March 28th. Pool renovations started early April, all after they told you the house was in foreclosure. I nodded. And here's the voicemail from Mom on March 10th, saying they were days away from losing everything. She added it to the file. Perfect. That's misrepresentation. Easy. Freddie came over later with more drone footage. He handed me a flash drive without a word and sat down. I've got them at the dealership, the pool construction, and, get this, the spa. Tessa got a full-body massage and facial the same week she told you they were eating canned soup. Maya snorted. Canned soup, my ass. I plugged in the drive and watched. There they were, stepping out of the spa with gift bags and iced lattes. Freddie leaned forward. You want timestamps on everything? Yes, I said. And keep your drone flying. If they sneeze, I want to know. He nodded. Done. The next day, the legal summons went out, one to each of them, hand-delivered, and just like that, the silence broke. My phone rang at 7:12 a.m. It was Mom. I let it go to voicemail. Then Tessa called, then Dad. I didn't pick up. I just sat on the couch, sipping coffee, watching the missed calls pile up. Maya grinned. Let them sweat. At noon, my phone buzzed again. A voicemail from Tessa. Okay, Oakley, what the hell is this? We got some legal crap about the insurance money? You're seriously suing your own family after everything we've done for you? Call me back. I didn't. That night, there was a knock at my door. Maya peeked through the peephole. It's your parents. I opened the door halfway. Mom's face was flushed. Oakley, what is this? Some kind of sick joke? Dad stepped in. You're taking legal action against us? Your own mother and father? I stayed calm. You lied. You stole. You laughed about it. Mom's voice rose. We're your family. You used me, I said. You saw me broken and you cashed in. Dad pointed a finger. You gave us that money willingly. Under false pretenses. That's fraud. Tessa appeared behind them, arms crossed, sunglasses perched on her head like she was starring in a soap opera. You're being dramatic, she said. It was just money. Maya stepped beside me. It was her husband's life insurance, not a birthday check. Tessa rolled her eyes. Whatever. You can't prove anything. I smiled. Actually, I can. I pulled out my phone and tapped play. The dealership footage, the laughter, the champagne, my dad's voice. She actually fell for it. They all froze. I let it play twice before turning it off. You're going to regret this, Mom said quietly. No, I replied. You are. The door slammed behind them. 2 days later, Mr. Sanders called. They've responded through a lawyer, denying everything, claiming the funds were a gift. Expected, I said. But there's something else. I sat up straighter. What? I got a call from someone at Jesse's company. They said a woman called the day of his accident, pretending to be you, asking about the insurance process. That's not standard. My throat tightened. Did they say who? They didn't know her name, but they said she sounded young, pushy, asked if the claim would be fast-tracked. I hung up and called Jesse's old supervisor. I'd met him once, at the funeral. Hi, it's Oakley. I need to ask you something. Strange. He remembered the call. Yeah, I thought it was you, but now that you mention it, the voice was off. She kept saying she was your sister, then corrected herself. I swallowed. Do you have a recording? I'll check. That night, I went through old texts between me and Tessa. I found one from the day Jesse died. So sorry, Oak. Let me know if you need anything. Love you. It was sent at 10:42 a.m. Jesse's accident happened at 11:15. She knew before I did. I stared at the screen until it blurred. Then I opened my laptop and started a new folder. Tessa, possible insurance fraud. I added everything. Maya sat beside me, quiet. You okay? No, I said, but I'm getting there. She nodded. Good. Because they're about to find out who they messed with. I found her at the salon. Tessa always posted her location on her stories like she was a celebrity. Self-care day, with a boomerang of her holding a pink smoothie. I didn't even have to zoom in to see the name of the place. I walked in just as she was stepping out of the massage room, robe on, hair tied in a silk wrap. She froze when she saw me. Wow, she said. Didn't expect to see you here. I smiled. I figured we should talk, privately. The receptionist was already eyeing us. Tessa sighed. Fine. 5 minutes. We stepped outside into the parking lot. Her BMW gleamed in the sun like a slap in the face. I didn't waste time. You called Jesse's job the day he died. Her expression didn't change, but her eyes flicked, just for a second. I don't know what you're talking about. You said you were me. Asked about the insurance claim. Before I even knew he was gone. She shrugged. I was trying to help. I took a step closer. You impersonated me. Tessa rolled her eyes. Oh, please. It was one call. I was just trying to figure out how long the process would take. You were a wreck. You didn't even tell me he was dead yet." She looked away. "I found out through someone at the site. I just wanted to know what we were dealing with." "We?" She turned back, arms crossed. "Don't act like you didn't need help. You were falling apart. You couldn't even get out of bed. You weren't helping me. You were helping yourself." She smirked. "So what? It's not like I forged anything. I asked a question. Big deal. You lied. You used my name. That's fraud." Her face twisted. "You're really going to take this to court? Over a phone call?" "No," I said. "Over everything. The money, the lies, the fact that you celebrated Jesse's death like it was a lottery win." She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic." I pulled out my phone and opened the folder. "You want to hear what you texted Mom the day of the funeral?" I read it aloud. "She looks like a ghost in that dress. Bet she doesn't even realize she gave us more than we asked for." Tessa's face drained of color. I kept going. "Once the check clears, I'm booking Cabo." She lunged for the phone. I stepped back. "Don't touch me." "You went through my phone?" she hissed. "No. You backed it up to the cloud. Jesse set it up for you, remember?" She looked like she might spit. "You used my grief," I said. "You used my husband's death." Tessa's voice dropped. "You were always the favorite, the golden one. Jesse was perfect. You had the life I was supposed to have." I stared at her. "So you stole it?" She didn't answer. I turned to go. "You think you're better than us now?" she snapped. "Because you lawyered up?" I stopped. "No, I think I'm finally seeing you for who you are." I got in my car and drove straight to Maya's. She opened the door before I even knocked. "Well?" She admitted it. Said she called pretending to be me. Said I was falling apart, so it was justified. Maya's jaw tightened. "That's not just fraud. That's impersonation. Maybe even wire fraud, depending on what she said to the company." I nodded. "We need to add it to the case." We sat down at her kitchen table, laptops open, files spread out. I forwarded the audio recording I'd secretly taken of Tessa's confession to Mr. Sanders. He replied within the hour. "This changes things. We'll be adding criminal impersonation and misrepresentation to the civil suit, also looking into federal fraud statutes." I exhaled. Maya handed me a glass of water. "You okay?" "No, but I'm not scared anymore." She smiled. "Good, because they should be." The next day, I went through more of Jesse's things. I found his old phone, still functional, still logged into his email. I wasn't sure what I was looking for until I saw a thread between him and my dad. Subject line: helping Oakley's family. I clicked. Dad had asked Jesse if he'd consider loaning them $50,000 to help with some home repairs. Jesse declined politely. Said we were saving for a house of our own. The email was dated 6 months before he died. I forwarded it to Mr. Sanders. Later that night, I got another anonymous text. "Check Tessa's Venmo from March 15th. She split a payment for the car with your dad." I opened the app, searched her public transactions. There it was. BMW down payment, paid to Dad, with a champagne emoji. I stared at it for a long time. Then I screenshotted it, saved it, and added it to the evidence folder. Maya looked over my shoulder. "They really thought you'd never look." "They thought I'd just stay broken," she nodded. "They don't know you anymore." I closed the laptop. They never did. They showed up at my apartment on a Sunday. I was folding laundry when the knock came. Not a polite tap. A full-on, angry, impatient bam, bam, bam. Maya peeked through the peephole. "It's them, and they brought the damn car." I opened the door slowly. There they were. Mom in designer sunglasses, Dad in a crisp polo, Tessa in heels too high for daylight. And behind them, parked like a trophy, the white BMW. Mom stepped forward. "We need to talk." I leaned against the doorframe. "About what? The lawsuit? The fraud? The impersonation? Dad held up a hand. Let's not do this here. We came to make peace. I crossed my arms. You brought your lawyer? No, he said. We came as family. Maya let out a laugh from behind me. That's rich. Tessa flipped her hair. Can we come in or not? I stepped aside. Sure, I've got something for you, actually. They filed in like they owned the place. Mom wrinkled her nose at the laundry basket. Tessa rolled her eyes at the IKEA furniture. We've been thinking, Dad started, sitting on the edge of my couch like it might stain him. The whole legal thing. It's gotten out of hand. We're willing to return some of the money. Some? I asked. 50,000, he said. That's fair. I raised an eyebrow. You stole over 300, Mom chimed in. It was never about stealing. It was about survival. Family helping family. Tessa added, besides, you still have some of it, right? Maya stood up. You're unbelievable. Dad ignored her. We're willing to settle this quietly. No court, no drama, but we need a little help right now. I tilted my head. Help? Tessa sighed. We're doing a surprise renovation. The city's giving us crap about permits. We're short 10 grand. I blinked. You came here in a BMW to ask me for more money? Mom smiled like it was a reasonable request. Just a small loan. We'll pay you back. I walked over to the TV stand and picked up the remote. Funny you should mention the dealership. Tessa narrowed her eyes. What? I turned on the TV. The dealership footage played instantly. Them laughing, signing papers, clinking glasses. Then my dad's voice. She actually fell for it. Their faces dropped. I let it loop once, then twice. No one spoke. Finally, I turned it off and faced them. I saved something of yours too, I said. Dad stood up. Where did you get that? Doesn't matter. Mom's hands trembled. You can't use that in court. It's illegal. Maya stepped forward. Actually, it's not. It's public footage, captured legally, and admissible. Tessa's voice cracked. You've been spying on us? You've been robbing me, I said. So yeah, I started paying attention. Dad's voice dropped. You don't want to go down this road, Oakley. I'm already on it. He stepped closer. You think you're better than us now? Because you've got a lawyer and a folder full of receipts? No, I said, because I have truth, and you have lies. Mom reached out. Sweetheart, I pulled back. Don't. You lost the right to call me that. Tessa's voice turned cold. You're going to destroy this family. I looked at her. You destroyed it the moment you cashed in on my husband's death. They stood there, silent. Then Maya said, You should go, before we call security. Dad opened his mouth, then closed it. He turned and walked out. Mom followed, heels clicking like gunshots. Tessa lingered for a second. You think this makes you powerful? She asked. No, I said, but it makes me free. She scoffed and stormed out. The door slammed. Maya exhaled. Holy shit! I sat down, heart pounding. She grinned. You didn't even flinch. I've done enough crying, I said. Now it's their turn. We spent the rest of the day organizing everything. Footage, texts, emails, bank transfers, timestamps. Mr. Sanders had already drafted the civil suit. Now we were adding impersonation, fraud, emotional damages. I emailed him the dealership footage and the audio of Tessa's confession. He replied within an hour. This is more than enough. They're going to fold. I stared at the screen. Maya handed me a glass of water. You okay? I nodded. I think I'm finally starting to be. She smiled. You were right. You saved something of theirs. Now it's going to save you. I looked out the window. The BMW was gone, but the damage was done, and the reckoning had just begun. They walked into Mr. Sanders' office like they still had the upper hand. Tessa wore a tight blazer and heels that clicked with every step. Mom had on pearls and a forced smile. Dad's tie was crooked, but his smirk was intact. They brought a lawyer, some guy in a cheap suit who looked like he hadn't read a single page of their file. I sat across the table with Maya beside me and Mr. Sanders at the head. "Let's begin," he said, calm and cold. "We're here to discuss the formal response to the civil suit filed by my client, Oakley, regarding the misappropriation of life insurance funds, emotional damages, and fraudulent misrepresentation." Dad leaned forward. "This whole thing is a misunderstanding." Mr. Sanders didn't blink. "We'll let the evidence speak for itself." He opened a folder and slid a stack of documents across the table. "These are certified bank records, text messages, drone footage, and a recorded confession from Tessa regarding impersonation and misuse of funds." Tessa's lawyer barely touched the papers. "This all seems circumstantial." Mr. Sanders smiled faintly. "Let's start with the dealership footage." He hit play on the small screen in the center of the table. The video filled the room, the three of them laughing, signing the BMW paperwork, clinking glasses. Then Dad's voice. "She actually fell for it." No one spoke. Mr. Sanders continued like he was reading a grocery list. "Following that, we have Venmo transactions linking the car down payment to the insurance money, time-stamped 2 weeks after the funds were transferred." He flipped to a second page. "We also have audio of Tessa admitting to impersonating Oakley in a phone call to Jesse's employer, inquiring about the insurance claim before Oakley was even notified of his death." Tessa shifted in her seat. Her lawyer whispered something. She didn't respond. Mom finally spoke. "We're family. This shouldn't be happening in a courtroom." Mr. Sanders looked up. "You're correct. It should have never happened at all." Dad's smirk was gone. "What do you want?" I leaned forward. "Everything," Tessa scoffed. "You're not getting a dime back." Mr. Sanders didn't flinch. "Actually, we're seeking full restitution of the misused funds, damages for emotional distress, and potential criminal charges for impersonation and fraud. The IRS has also been notified." Their lawyer paled. "The IRS?" Mr. Sanders nodded. "Yes. There are several large cash purchases that were never reported. The audit's already underway." Mom's hands trembled. "You wouldn't do that." "I already did," I said. Tessa's voice cracked. "You're going to destroy us." I looked her straight in the eye. "You destroyed yourselves." Dad stood up, hands on the table. "You think this makes you strong? You think Jesse would have wanted this?" I stood too. Jesse would have wanted justice, and I'm making sure he gets it. Maya placed a folder in front of them. "You can settle now or take your chances in court. But either way, this doesn't end on your terms." Their lawyer whispered again. This time, Dad listened. Tessa's eyes were glassy. "You're not the same person." "No," I said. "I'm not." Mr. Sanders stood. "We'll give you 48 hours to decide. After that, we proceed with the full suit." They filed out, slower this time. No heels clicking, no smug smiles. When the door closed, Maya turned to me. "You did it." I sat back down, heart pounding. "Not yet. But they know what's coming." Mr. Sanders nodded. "They'll settle. They don't want this going to trial." I stared at the empty chairs across the table. "Good. I want this to hurt." Later that night, I got a text from Tessa. "You win. Happy now?" I didn't reply. Instead, I opened Jesse's old voicemail, the one I couldn't bring myself to delete. "Hey, babe. Just checking in. I'll be home late, but I love you. Always." I played it twice. Then I whispered, "I'm getting it back, Jesse. All of it." The letter came by courier. Thick envelope. Gold seal. No return address. Maya stood beside me as I opened it. "Well?" she asked, eyes wide. I scanned the top page. "They settled." She grinned. "All of it?" "Every cent." plus damages. They agreed to pay back the full amount, plus interest, and cover my legal fees. Maya let out a breath. They folded. They had no choice. Inside the envelope were copies of signed agreements. Tessa's name, my parents' signatures, a bank account listed for restitution payments. The BMW was already repossessed. The pool company filed a lien on their house. And the IRS? Still digging. They're going to lose everything, Maya said. I nodded. They already did. That night, I boxed up the last of Jesse's things. Not because I wanted to forget him, but because I didn't need to hold on to the pain anymore. His hoodie still smelled like him. I folded it carefully and placed it in the bin marked Keep. There was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Mom standing there, alone, holding a manila envelope. I'm not here to beg, she said. Good, I replied, stepping aside but not inviting her in. She looked tired, smaller somehow. Her hair wasn't done, and her usual perfume was replaced with something bitter. Regret, maybe. I wanted to give you this, she said, handing me the envelope. I opened it. Inside were old photos. Me and Jesse at our wedding, at Christmas, laughing on the beach. I hadn't seen these in years. I found them in a drawer, she said. Figured you'd want them. I didn't say anything. She shifted. We're losing the house. I know. Tessa moved in with a friend. Your father's under audit. We're not doing well. I looked at her. You came here for sympathy? No, she said quickly. I came because I wanted to say something. I waited. I'm sorry, she said. We were wrong, all of it. I don't expect forgiveness. I wanted you to know that. I nodded once. Thanks for the photos. She hesitated. You were always the strong one. We just never saw it. I didn't respond. She turned to go but paused at the door. You're not like us, Oakley. That's a good thing. Then she left. I closed the door behind her and locked it. The next morning, I sat in front of my mic and hit record. Welcome back to the grief seat, I said. Today we're talking about betrayal, not from strangers, but from the people who swore they loved you the most. Maya sat across from me, monitoring the levels. I lost my husband, I continued, and then I lost my family. But what I gained was clarity and a spine I didn't know I had. We recorded for an hour, raw, honest, no filters. After, Maya leaned back. That was your best one yet. It felt good, I said, like I'm finally saying the things I was too scared to say. You think they'll listen? I shrugged. Doesn't matter. It's not for them. Later, I walked past the bookstore where Jesse used to wait for me after shifts. I stood outside for a minute, watching the reflection of the street in the window. A kid inside dropped a book, and the sound made me flinch. But then I smiled. I kept walking. At the park, I sat on our old bench, the one with the carved initials. I ran my fingers over the letters. Oh, play. I pulled out my phone and opened the final transfer confirmation. The money was back in my account. Every dollar. Maya texted, Drinks tonight? You earned it. I replied, Absolutely. As I stood to leave, an older woman nearby smiled at me. You look like someone who just let go of something heavy, she said. I smiled back. Yeah, I did. Back at home, I poured a glass of wine and opened the window. The city buzzed below, life moving forward. I pulled out Jesse's voicemail one more time. Hey, babe, just checking in. I'll be home late, but I love you. Always. I whispered, I love you too. Then I deleted it. Not because I was letting go of him, but because I didn't need the pain to remember the love. They made my loss a transaction. I made their lies a legacy.